My mom blamed me for her divorce. After she cheated on her husband, and then she started dating my boyfriend until she got pregnant. But if she wants to, she can blame me for everything that's going to happen to her now. I'm posting this on an anonymous account because I know there are actually people in my family lurking on Reddit, but I want to get this out without them finding out it's me. My 46-year-old mom has been a liar all my life. But what she's done in the last year isn't just a disaster, it's betrayal on another level. I am 24 years old and I am her only daughter. I used to defend her even when it was difficult. Not anymore. She cheated on my stepfather when I was 15, more than once. But when he finally filed for divorce, she told everyone it was my fault. She said I came between them, that I was jealous of their relationship, that I was emotionally manipulative, and even suggested that I was flirting with him. I was 15 years old. She told my grandmother that, she told the neighbor that, she told the pastor's wife that. I lost half of my family because of that divorce. I didn't know how to defend myself. No one believed a teenager over an adult crying with a sad story. And I don't know why she did that, because it's not like I knew she was cheating on him and told my stepfather. I found out all that when everything exploded. My stepfather didn't help me with any of this either, but I guess he was just fed up with this family and my mom and just walked away. I moved away to go to college and tried to keep my distance. Things were difficult because it was still common for me to run into her at some family event. We didn't have a mother-daughter relationship, but I didn't care. I wasn't looking for one either. Then I started dating Jesse, 26, when I was 21. He was sweet, quiet, helped me study, and made good coffee. I took him to these events several times, family dinners, birthdays, the usual. That's when things got weird. He started to drift away, fewer messages, less affection. He stopped staying over. I asked him if something was wrong and he said no. It turns out my own mother had already started sleeping with him. I didn't find out until 3 months after we broke up. How? She posted a damn pregnancy announcement on Facebook, a photo of a positive test with a message that read, "Sweetly expecting a sweet baby girl." She tagged him. I called her. She didn't answer. I texted Jesse. Nothing. She finally responded with a message that said, "I didn't mean for it to be this way. Things were complicated between us." Between whom? I was your girlfriend. She was my mother. When I finally confronted my mother, she said, "You and Jesse were falling apart. This was going to happen. We didn't plan it, but now we're happy. So get over it and stop with the girl stuff." So here I am with a mother who, even though I've cut her out of my life, keeps finding ways to hurt me. Sometimes I think she didn't have me to neglect me like many mothers do, but simply to torture me and enjoy it. Update 1. Since this has gone viral and many have questions, I wanted to answer some, provide more context, and also share an update. Yes, they were sleeping together while Jesse and I were still together. We didn't break up and then he started dating her or something. The damn idiot was sleeping with me while I was still with him. He didn't even have the courage to break up with me before. I found out when we broke up, and it was all because the news of the pregnancy got some people talking, Jesse's friends who told me I deserved to know. And like I said, he didn't have the courage to break up with me, and he probably wouldn't have had the courage either, since I was the one who decided to end things because he pulled away from me. Jesse and I weren't perfect, but we weren't in a bad place either when he supposedly started cheating on me. We had a few fights, normal stuff, long hours, stress, but nothing that called for a breakup. We were still sleeping together. We were still talking about the trips we wanted to take. People asked if my mom always had issues with boundaries. Short answer, yes. She always tried to be the center of attention in every room, especially if I was in it. When I was younger, she competed with me for attention. She wore tighter dresses than mine for graduation pictures. She literally told one of my boyfriends in high school, "You'll be mine in another life." I thought it was just awkward back then. I didn't realize how far it would go. As for the pregnancy, I don't know how far along she is exactly. I only know that she claims that the relationship began after. He broke up with me. I don't know where that makes it better, but to some people it seems like it's not so bad that a mother is dating her daughter's ex. That post I mentioned, the one about the positive test, wasn't even the first. She's posted pictures of her bump, cheesy quotes, and stuff about rainbow babies. The difference is that now she had tagged my ex, and that way he reached me too. If not, I probably wouldn't have found out. Although thinking about it, at some point I might have anyway. My biological father is still in contact. He lives in another state, but we talk occasionally. He was furious when he found out because he's not my mom's biggest fan and ended things with her for a reason. I'm now passing all the information to him because he wanted the details of the whole thing. For those of you saying, "Don't let her live rent-free in your head," don't worry. I've already started the process of moving out of state. I have a job lined up and an apartment prepared. But before I go, I have one last thing to do. She's planning a baby shower, a big one, decorations, custom invitations, a weird woodland fairy theme. I didn't expect this to go so viral. Some of you asked what I plan to do, and I honestly didn't post this looking for a plan. I just needed to get it out of my system. But now that I've calmed down, or maybe I'm just feeling more numb, I've started thinking about what I'm going to do. Because my mom is not only moving forward with Jessie, but she's building a whole new image. She's throwing this party for next weekend. It's supposed to be a celebration of a new chapter. I haven't been invited, but I've seen the invitation. Clearly, she doesn't want to invite me, the ex of her child's father, but that doesn't stop me from doing some things. I've been getting permission from the people who shared things so I could use the screenshots of their messages. Some have agreed and others haven't, but I'm slowly gathering evidence. My plan isn't to destroy everything right now. I don't want to be impulsive. I want to hit where it really hurts. And that means not just exposing her, but exposing the version of her that she's been careful to build for the past few years. The sweet, wise, and strong mom who survived a divorce despite her daughter. That version is false. I don't want revenge. I want the people who still believe her lies to know that they've been lied to. That's what this is about. Although if I get revenge along the way, I'm not going to worry about it either. My mom should be worried now. Some of you asked if Jessie said anything else. She texted me once since this post went up. She just said, "I don't expect you to forgive me, but I still care about you." I haven't responded because I don't care. I don't care about their fake message, and I don't care about any of them. I don't even care that they're in a relationship or expecting a baby. They're equally horrible people who deserve each other. The only thing I'm interested in is ending the lies. To be clear, I haven't sent anything yet, but I will. Her baby shower is next weekend. I have time. And she keeps posting pictures of her bump and tagging the baby's father. Update 2. The baby shower was yesterday, or at least it was supposed to be. From what I've heard, it turned into something else entirely. And before anyone asks, no, I didn't go. I wasn't invited, and I wasn't going either. My plan didn't involve going to the party and making a spectacle of it. My plan was something else, so I stayed home. I let the work I'd already done speak for itself. Here's what happened. About 4 hours before the baby shower started, I sent all the information I had. The messages, some evidence they sent me, messages from Jessie to my mom with the date stamp, etc. I had everything in a folder on Google Drive and made sure it was locked to view only so no one could edit it. For example, my mom or Jessie. It also included a nice timeline image with pictures of the events, like things my mom posted on her Facebook, messages from me and Jessie when we were still a couple overlaid with my mom's. Lastly, there was a copy of the baby shower invitation with the header blurred out and replaced with, "Before you attend, read this. It will make the party more interesting." I sent it to her boss, Jessie's family, aunts, cousins, even her older sister. She's the one who used to comment on my posts like we were friends. I sent it to 2 of my mom's oldest friends, and my dad again, just to make sure he had everything too. Then I turned my phone off for 4 hours. What I found when I came back was a voicemail from Jessie's sister. I don't even know what to say. I'm disgusted. We all are. A text from an unknown number that I'm assuming was from church because it said, "We just want you to know that in our group these things are frowned upon and it will be something we'll discuss on Sunday." Voice messages from my mom. 2, in fact. One left a voicemail crying. Not really crying, but the kind where you're trying to talk while pretending to sob. She said, "You're a horrible woman who always needs attention. That's why you make up lies, to destroy your mother. I don't know what wrong I've done to you to make you hate me like this, but you urgently need attention so you don't keep nursing that hatred." Of course, there's nothing that will grab everyone's attention, like going out and getting pregnant by your daughter's boyfriend when you were still a couple. I don't know if she got pregnant while we were still together, but they were sleeping behind my back. Yes. What I didn't expect, however, the venue canceled the event in the middle of preparation. She was doing it in a rented community center that is connected to the church she still attends occasionally, perhaps the same one I received the message from. They canceled the event. Someone I know who works nearby said they saw my mom in the parking lot red-faced, yelling into her phone with balloons in one hand and a diaper cake in the other. I'm not proud to say I laughed, but I did. And to tell you the truth, I'm proud of what I did. As for Jessie, she texted me today. "Whatever point you think you made, all you did was drag a baby into this. Of course, the faithful and devoted boyfriend, because he slept with my mom and got her pregnant. I didn't respond because I know the idea of using his member on my mother will bring consequences. He's going to be stuck in this mess for the rest of his life, and I promise you he's already regretting it. Apparently, his family told him to stay away from them until further notice. Oops. I think he forgot to tell his family that he had gotten someone pregnant and that someone was his ex-mother-in-law. And before anyone asks, no, I don't feel bad. I didn't edit anything in Photoshop, I didn't make up any evidence, and I didn't call anyone by name or say what people should think. I let the actual words from their own phones and posts do the talking. The truth shouldn't offend anyone. But it does offend when your lies are exposed, which hurts, but it's not my pain. One last thing. Someone at her work, not her boss, but someone I barely know, sent me a message saying that HR got involved. Not confirmed. But if they're even investigating her behavior, that's enough for me. She was the one who wanted everything to be public when she tagged my boyfriend in her post. Now she gets to pay for the few minutes of fun she got by trying to make me feel bad. Update 3. What's up, guys? We've now reached the 1-week anniversary of my mom's baby shower. And a week is not enough time to put this behind us. No, everyone is still losing their minds, just in smaller groups. I haven't said a word to my mom since I sent the information. I've been ignoring messages, calls, everything. I've just been watching everything from the shadows. But if you're here to see the fall, here's what really happened. First, my mom deleted everything. Her Facebook was gone, Instagram was wiped clean, as if she'd committed murder and was cleaning up the crime scene. She removed everything that mentioned the baby and Jesse, the ultrasound posts, the pregnancy test, everything. But before leaving, because she stopped posting on Instagram, she posted one last story that said something like, "People should believe whatever they want." The truth always makes its way through hate. I liked it because I liked the quote, and because that's exactly what's happening. The truth found its way perfectly, as her church, her co-workers, and her boss watched it all with perfectly crafted timestamps for a presentation rivaling one from Apple. And that's what's moving now, because the consequences are still coming, or the expansive effects of the explosion. My aunt texted me saying she was in shock, that she had no idea it was so serious, and that she felt bad for standing up for my mom during the divorce. Then she asked me if I was okay. I told her yes, but that her concern came too late. She said she understood. I didn't say anything else. We're not suddenly best friends, but it's nice that even the people who were on her side in the divorce are now realizing a lot of things. The rest of the family split up. Although that division already existed before, it's just that now it's changed a bit, like my aunt. Some say I did what I had to do, others act like I burned down a church, which isn't literal, but close enough. One of the folic acid haters said something similar to Jesse. "You could have kept this private. There's a baby involved." Sorry, but you can't play the baby card after sleeping with your daughter's boyfriend and throwing a party to show it off. They made it public. I just corrected the version. And as for the baby, the least of his problems when he's born won't be my infographic, but rather being born to my mother and Jesse. I haven't heard from Jesse since that last message. The one who said, "You put a baby in this," which is part of the folic acid-hating slogan. My mom's job is actually investigating her behavior. Someone she works with, not a close friend of mine, just someone in the same industry, texted me to say that HR has scheduled a formal review. Apparently, the folder I sent was not only read, but forwarded, and it's not just for sleeping with her daughter's boyfriend. There's a lot more to it. Wouldn't you think someone like my mom would have a clean work record? There's some evidence of lying, things that have come out that have been the talk of the office these past few days. She hasn't been fired yet, but she's not working. Her name is no longer on the website. She can pretend she retired for personal reasons, but people talk, especially when pieces of evidence sent to her office show her lying in her divorce to shift the blame onto her underage daughter. Now comes the predictable part. She tried to make me feel guilty. A package arrived at my apartment yesterday. There was no note on the outside. Inside was a copy of the baby shower invitation, the original, a framed ultrasound photo, and a handwritten letter. "This is what you've ruined. I want you to see it so you know what you've ruined. I'm sure you think you've done something right, that your revenge is sweet, but all you've done is make people hate us. This baby didn't deserve this. I hope you never know what it feels like to have your own child hate you." I texted her to say, "I don't know if revenge is sweet. It was never about her. But people hating them is more a result of her actions than mine. P.S. I'm glad you know your daughter hates you, and I congratulate you because you've earned it by working so hard for it. But I've been thinking since then, and you know what else a baby doesn't deserve? To be the product of the betrayal, lies, and manipulation of a grown woman who used her daughter's boyfriend to feel young again. Everything inside the package, packaging and all, was thrown in the trash. and I made sure to watch it being picked up, sipping coffee while watching the truck crush it inside. I only regret not making a video, but everything can't be done in this life. But I'm leaving now. I signed the contract on a new apartment across the state, in a different city, starting over in 2 weeks. I haven't posted anything about it online. She doesn't know where I'm going. Only a few people do, and I trust them to keep it that way. I also plan to change my number. I've blocked everyone on social media who's still sticking with her story. If you want to believe a woman who slept with her daughter's boyfriend and called it fate, go ahead. That speaks to your standards and lack of folic acid. Update 4. I moved. It's finally done. New city, new job, new apartment. No one here knows the story unless I choose to tell it. And so far, I haven't. Most days I'm in good shape. I commute. I cook my own meals. I sleep better now. It's impossible for any of this to feel real, as it seems, without bump photos in my inbox. No invitations, no Facebook updates. Before I finally moved out, which is fairly recent, I received a new letter from my mom at my house before I left. I came home from work, and there was an envelope slipped under my door. Just a plain white envelope with a little sticker that said, Hope. Inside was a picture of a sonogram and a card. The card read, I will always be your mom. You don't have to talk to me, but I hope you meet her someday. She deserves to meet you. I don't think you know how twisted that all sounds. That is the baby that will be born as a result of an infidelity between my mother and my ex. There's nothing I'm less interested in right now than meeting her. It's not the baby's fault, but you'll forgive me if I want to stay away from all that. I haven't heard from Jesse since before I moved, which I'm especially grateful for because I don't want to hear from him directly. I don't want to have any contact with him. Their social life is basically dead. I don't think they're publishing anything. I hope they are miserable. Not in the sense that the baby suffers. The baby is innocent, but I hope they look at themselves every day and think, I shouldn't have done that. And the worst part is that she has 18 years to try to fix this issue with her future baby, because I'm sure that baby will find out what happened. And when they do, and if my mother is the same with that baby as she is with me, at 18 they'll want to run through the door like a cartoon, leaving their figure in the wood. Good luck with that. Regarding my family, those who tried to play both sides, I blocked them. My dad and I still talk. I still can't believe what my mother did. I asked him how he can't believe it if he lived with her, and for some reason divorced this woman, but he told me that nothing he had done before reached this level of madness, and that's saying something, considering my mother has done many things to him. My aunt wrote to me on social media, I guess I forgot to block her, and said I didn't have to forgive my mom, but she wanted me to know that she was very sorry. I asked her if she was sorry for what she did to me all these years, or sorry that a nuclear bomb exploded on her. I haven't received a response, and I think maybe I'm a very pessimistic person, that I'm not going to get one. So, no, I don't care how sorry she is now that the attention is back on her. She had opportunities and she used them up. Never for the rest of my life or my mother's will I forgive her, nor will I have a relationship with her again, or anything like that. I'm so far away from her that I haven't received any information about the baby's birth. I mean, unless my mom is an elephant, she should have had her baby by now. That's how far away I am, and that's how far away I like to be. All I hope is that my mom has come to her senses and taken her folic acid, because we all know we don't need anyone else like my mom in this world. I don't miss them, and I don't forgive them. I'm 24 years old, I have a studio apartment, a job that pays enough, and a phone that barely rings. That's good enough for now. Update 5. Now I know why I hadn't heard from Jesse and my mom. Some residual effects of my information dump were also that they ended the relationship. It's just that I can't keep up with all the things that have happened, especially since I've been cutting ties with all of it and everything around it. There are probably more things I don't know. For example, I never knew what the sermon at church last Sunday was like, but if I had to guess, it would be something like, Joseph didn't steal Jesus' girlfriend and post it on Facebook or something. I'm not one of those people who goes to church and I think it shows, but I don't think I would have missed that sermon, so they're not together. I don't even know where Jesse is right now. My mom can't have killed him and buried him in the woods. I'm not kidding because I also don't think that's the case when there are stories out there that she left town out of shame and to get away from it all. But those stories could have been fueled by my mom. How scary. But seriously, I don't think my mom would do anything like that, nor that she was a single mother. You know my opinion that she only had me to use me as her punching bag, to humiliate me, to abuse me, and all the other bad things you can think of. Which brings me to the question of why I didn't move in with my dad when I was younger, because I stayed. Holding on. Well, that's a whole other story about family complexities that distract from the focus, But certainly at that time it was difficult for me to live with my father, even though I loved him. Going back to why my mother isn't a single mother, it's because she's done the least selfish thing in her life, although she didn't do it with that purpose, which is to give her baby girl up for adoption. Don't get me wrong. She didn't do this because one day she woke up and said, "What life can I give this daughter?" It's better to give her up for adoption so that a pair of wonderful parents can give her a loving and protective life. No. Her thought, as soon as she woke up that day, was, me, then me. Oh, and I have to get rid of this. I don't need it anymore because I already did what I had to do with OP, then more, me, until she goes to sleep. Something that could have also pressured the decision is her job loss. Although it's only something I can guess, why can't I be inside my mother's head with so many thoughts? I think Jesse's family should at least know where she is, but they don't have much love for what she did. When everything broke out, she not only became an outcast to his friends and social circle, but also to his family, which is already quite unusual. At least families tend to be more tolerant of their members' mistakes. Well, Jesse's isn't one of them.